Jerod Mayo saying something that we've predicted, at least I predicted. I don't know whether you agree with me on this or not, that by the trade deadline, half the league will have decided to strategically kick the ball out of the end zone and concede the 30-yard line in lieu of playing Russian roulette, not to be confused with credit card roulette, with their career, with their job, with a win or a loss that could ultimately determine whether or not you get to the playoffs. I think that we'll see enough iterations of this early in the year that conservative coaches, defensive coaches who trust their defenses will just say, we'll give you the 30. I don't want to end up on the 40, the 45. I don't want it to be a touchdown. I don't want chaos. I don't want that. I want certainty. I'll give you the 30 just like I used to give you the 25. And, you know, I poked around as to whether or not there's any way they could change that to the 35 before the start of the season. My understanding is nope. It's locked in at the 30, and that's that. So we still could end up with a dead play by the time it's all said and done, with teams just saying, we'll start drives at the 30. No, I don't know that every team is going to feel that way, right, but I think plenty of them will feel that way not very long into the season.
Well, hey, we both know, anybody that's been around football, coaches don't like the unknown, right? They don't like the unknown. What am I going to get from this? What to expect here, right? So, okay, hey, kick it out of the end zone, blah, blah, blah. I know what I'm getting, and I can kind of formulate my plan around that. You know, I do think that. I think it's a play that, hey, teams are, again, it's not going to be in the trust tree early on. Or they're going to get burned maybe by it in the preseason and go, oh, man, I don't like the way that looked. I'm not sure if we're going to kick it to anybody early on in the season until I feel like we're a little bit better at this. Or the other way around. They kick it, a lot early on in the season and get burned, and then they go, the hell with it. I'm never kicking it again, and we're going to give them the ball at the 30. I could see it going a lot of ways. I mean, this is, as you said a few weeks ago, too, it's the most drastic change in football that we've had here in a long, long time. And there is some real, tactical, schematical unknowns here that I think will, get flushed out as the year goes along. But, yeah, within that, I think you're going to have some teams kind of take a back seat and view everybody for a little while when they might not have it figured out themselves.
One of the things Mayo said is the rules are still kind of fluid, even as today. There aren't many real changes that can be made to it. I remember when they passed the thing, they kind of rushed it through while they had everyone there to get the 24 votes, to get what they wanted. And to the extent that there were any lingering loose ends, those would be tied up later. But it can't be anything substantive because 24 owners have to vote on it. And they didn't give them a license to tweak the rule as they see fit. And they definitely can't, my understanding, decide, oh, you know what, we're really concerned. A lot of teams are just going to kick it out of the end zone again, and drives will start at the 30 instead of the 25, and it's going to be a play that, while not fully dead, it's going to be pretty close to it. Let's just make it the 35. That was the one key change made before the league meetings, 35 to the 30 for a kickoff out of the end zone. That can't change. There may be other smaller things, and maybe the fluidity comes from the fact that nobody knows how teams are actually going to implement the rule and take advantage of it. And are you going to use a position player? I mean, Mayo, the one thing that struck me about his comments yesterday, I feel like he's given no thought to it at all. Like, he hasn't given any thought to whether or not he's going to use a position player to kick off. He's got one guy who keeps telling him, I want to do it, I want to do it, I want to do it. I can't remember who, but somebody other than a kicker. It's like he's not even considering all the different permutations, all the different strategic things that come into play. And it makes me think he is leaning toward just saying, screw it, I'm kicking it out of the end zone. I'm not playing that game. Maybe we'll adjust once we see how the others fare as the guinea pigs for this experiment. We're not going to be the guinea pigs. We'll give you the 30-yard line, and we'll trust our defense.
I think it's, I don't look at it like that. Jerod Mayo is a pretty damn smart guy. He knows football. I think they're talking about this a lot, right? I think it's just one of those two where I don't think you're going to hear a lot of teams tell you a whole lot anyways, because they think the teams that got to figure it out are going to go, wait, I think we got to figure it out. I like it. I'm not saying what I want to do in this in a press conference setting and answer a question and, give another team an idea or whatever. I think, one, there's a little bit of the, wait, I don't want to say too much because there's still a lot of unknown and we're trying to figure it out. And then also I think there's a little bit like, hey, we've thought about this and it's kind of cool, but I don't want to tell you that either because I'm not sure anybody else has thought of that yet. So I don't think you're going to hear much here. I think it's going to be one where we're going to see it all play out in real time, preseason football. And we'll start to see little cute ideas or schematical, creativity there, as we go on, and we'll see where it goes.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.